yesterday.
Oh, but I was consoled by the performance of our senior men.
Please,
from
please,
please, big congratulations to them. Please,
don't.
No, so full I have had.
So full I have had. No, but you know, you remember
fantastic coverage, one of us.
With the Form 1 boy.
Form 1 boy. The boy is good.
Very smart.
The boy is good.
But the thing, I realized that the people who are following the NSMQ, you know, a lot of us, we are just waiting for the woman to say correct or incorrect.
Yes. We are listening to the. We are just.
A lot of the questions they are asking, I have no idea.
Try, bromide.
The syllabus they use.
That's the same thing we use in school. No, is it the same thing we use in school?
We were writing for a particular purpose.
Oh.
You chew the thing, go pour, pass, run away, you are done. It's not.
But the butcher contest, the woman asked the question, and the boy said, "You are the star."
Which star? That question. That answer the boys give.
You are the star. I've been thinking about the questions. The one asking, Alpha, the boy was literally telling the woman she is the star. She's the star.
He has fallen in love with the woman. See the woman, she is very.
And now, as we speak, the star is leading Boche back to Cape Coast.
So let's get into Ashanti.
Yes, Alpha, what's happening?
We are going to start off with some politics this morning because there's something that is coming in from the camp of Kennedy Ohene Japan, and his camp believed that okay. So what we are gathering is that they are insisting that the Kennedy Ohene Japan's camp are not happy with some members of parliament who are campaigning against him, and that they say if they win power, those members of parliament should begin to prepare themselves because they will ensure that they will also campaign against them. Now, the campaign team of New Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful Kennedy Japan has said that they are going to ensure that all the party's members of parliament in the Ashanti region who are endorsing the presidential bid of Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia are removed. Speaking in an interview with Kumasi-based Akoma FM, Mr. Kwame Owusu, the campaign manager of Kennedy Japan, vowed that they will campaign against all the MPs declaring their support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He added that he will come up with a list of MPP Ashanti MPs who they were going to remove. He said, quote, "We will help to remove a lot of the MPP Ashanti MPs. We will help remove a lot of MPs. Ken Ejapon does not campaign for only himself. He goes around the country campaigning for others. I myself will help ensure that they are removed. Politics is worshiping God. I will help remove all of them. I'm going to prepare the list myself," he said, end of quote. And he continued, "We will make sure that we will elect the people who are the bad apples out of the system," he reiterated, end of quote.
So if somebody doesn't support your candidate, the person is a bad apple.
They will all be removed.
But if you are removing your MPP MPs, are you not hurting the party?
No, they will bring in other people.
They will bring in new MPP MPs
who are not campaigning against them. You understand? Saying.
But if somebody doesn't support you, how is that person a bad nut?
So you are not supporting, so you will ensure that he will not also support you. He will campaign against you for you to be removed. So that's what they are saying. So they have a lot of MPs to work with because I know Manchester North, they will have to remove the MP there, Dr.
Manchester North.
Manchester South, sorry.
Dr. Matthew Oboku.
Yes, he has to be removed. Manchester North will have to be removed. Yes, Sticker.
She also would have to. Atuma.
Atuma. South. Yes, he also will have to be removed.
Kwadaso would have
Education
to go.
Minister Bosomtri.
Kingsley Nyako Bosomtri.
A lot of MPs.
All of them will have to go.
They have to work hard.
To remove a lot of
the MPs they have to work with.
Oh.
A lot of them.
And should the majority leader want to run again, they will have to remove him.
Yeah, him too.
They have to remove him.
They have a lot of MPs
Abra,
to remove.
what do you have for that?
Still in the camp of Kennedy Ohene Japan, the campaign manager of the New Patriotic Party flag bearer for Kennedy Japan, Kwame Owusu, has vowed to ensure that the party's Ashanti regional chairman, Bernard Enchibu Osiakon is removed from his position in the next election.
On a removing spirit.
And that, I mean, he has really vowed a lot, and he's removing.
I'm sure the people who vote against their candidates, they will also be removed from the party.
They will remove from the party. So I'm sure when you finish your story.
Speaking in an interview, Kwame Owusu said that Wuntumi's behavior shows that he is not fit to lead the NPP in the region. He accused the Ashanti Regional Chairman of being biased in a position that has the role of ensuring that everybody is treated fairly. We don't want somebody who is biased. We are going to ensure that someone like Wuntumi is removed. We will campaign against Wuntumi because I don't want a biased person in a position that requires fairness. How can he allow that to happen? We are saying that he, Wuntumi, has not demonstrated what it takes to be a chairman of the region, he quoted in Chi. I am saying this from the standpoint of his behavior. I am not talking about any animosity between us, but if someone is a chairman in our party, he must act as one. He must remain neutral, he clarified. He said that aside the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman, they would campaign to ensure that other party leaders who have exhibited the same behavior are removed from their position.
I'm just wondering if the people who have problem with Kennedy Ohene Japan will also come to the conclusion that they will have him removed, either as member of parliament for his constituency or in the party. because
if you have a problem, somebody removing the person, that means
if all of them do are to gang up and say, okay,
we are removing you because they have problem with you. How will you?
The party itself will be removed.
Because the way they are,
because there will be a lot of removal.
The way they are vowing and removing.
Let's not stay with that issue though,
yes.
because the brother of Kennedy Ohene Japan,
he's also removing somebody.
No, he's having problem with the second lady in the Ralph Japan. That is his name. The brother-in-law of Kennedy Ohene Japan, flag bearer hopeful, has responded to second lady Samia Baumia's recent political comments. You know, and recently she was in Kumasi. And in the said comments, Mrs. Baumia is heard advising MPP delegates to ignore bitter, angry, and satisfied candidate who she implied did not mind even if the party landed in opposition. In an interview on OKFM, lawyer Japan was questioned about why Kennedy's camp attributed the second lady's speech to themselves, even though she did not mention anybody by name. He insisted that the candidate in question was indeed Kennedy Japan, and as a result, the second lady's remarks were directed at him. He further stated that her comments were insulting to the delegates in the Ashanti region. This is what he said. We have taken her speech upon ourselves. Do you know why? In this life, everyone wants a fool to play with, but nobody is willing to give birth to a fool. He said. He explained that the second lady, in her opulent lifestyle, aimed to deceive the ordinary polling station delegates who were struggling and often relied on Kennedy Japan for support. He added that Kennedy Japan using his resources to address the needs of the country and the welfare of its people. So that's what the lawyer and brother of Honorable Kennedy Japan is saying. He said the comments, even though they didn't mention their candidate's name, but after
they've collected it for themselves,
subjecting the comment to strict interpretation. You understand?
They
analyzing the comments, they realized that, oh, okay, you were directing it.
Responding, you comment. It looks as if
no, the MPP is a very interesting political
I'm telling you, it looks as if the campaign team of Kennedy Japan this year they've really done some. They are vowing removal and responding and
punching holes, all kinds of things. It's not easy like that. That's what it's happening.
Rahim, away from politics, a historian and lawyer, lawyer Yao Anoche Frimpong, has given a perspective on how the great Ashanti Kingdom came about. And he's saying that all accounts are Bono people. Speaking in an interview, Anoche Frimpong indicated that Ashanti emanated from the Bono tribe. He said that a group of clans from the Bono tribe decided to come together to defend themselves from attacks by other clans, which led to the birth of the Ashanti Kingdom. And he quotes, Ashanti is simply one of the many Akan states that originated from the Bono area. All accounts are Bono people to start with, and among the Bono are those who broke away and went to unite because of war. Asante means those who united because of war. Ashantis is an angelicization of Asante.
So please, can you repeat it? Ashanti.
Angelicization.
Angelicization.
No, David. I don't understand.
Anglicization. sorry. Anglicization.
Rahim, which school did she attend?
Leave me alone.
They left the contest yesterday.
Oh,
the one we saw.
And she's leaving English language.
So she's leaving English language right now. They left the contest yesterday.
She has buried the
word. Because of war, he said. The historian said that Ashantis broke away not because they wanted to take over the world, but because they wanted their independence. He added that the people of Doma, who are now in the Bono region, used to live close to the Ashantis, and they were also attacking them. When the people of Ashanti settled in the Amansia area, today between Esumija and Bekwai, they were living among the Adansi people and the Dencha people. And we learned from history that the Denchas actually conquered all of them. And we learned from history that at any point in time, the Denchahene was asking them for their favorite wife and gold. The Doma people were attacking them, so the Ashantis felt they had to come together because of the many wars against them, he said. So Rahim.
Awful. From angelicization. Let's bring
angelicization. From angelicization, where are we going?
We are going to agriculturalization.
Agriculturalization.
So the Bekwai Municipal Directorate of Food and Agriculture is strengthening the capacities of farmers and resourcing them with high-yielding palm oil seedlings to help increase and expand the cultivation of the crop in the municipality. And the objective is to make the municipality the hub of bulk palm oil production in the Ashanti region. The directorate, in collaboration with the Municipal Assembly, had already supplied over 300,000 high-yielding and pest-resistant palm oil seedlings to interested farmers to cultivate in their farms. And Mr. Emmanuel Mensah, who is the Municipal Director of Agriculture, who made this known to the Ghana News Agency, said about 45% of the seedlings were handed over to women farmers in the area to cultivate. This, according to him, was part of an elaborate program designed by MOFA, aimed at training and resourcing women farmers with modern skills and best agronomic practices to improve on their crop yields and farm production to maximize profit and enhance their living standards. Mr. Mensah, who was speaking on the sidelines of this year's International Rural Women's Day, organized by SOCODEF, a Canadian organization for women in the municipality, said women in the area were playing leading roles in food production in the municipality. And that'll be all for Ashanti in Focus this morning.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I have a news report I want you guys to listen to, but let me let me take this commercial break. When I come, it's very important, so that I'll let you guys listen to it.
DAB Bagana o DAB Abba Ampa Digital Audio Broadcasting DAB Abagana National Communications Authority NCA Edi kasafidie nimdie foforo yato ne din Digital Audio Broadcasting Abagana kasafidie otetie Orange FM edi ni jesem aba sesiadie ubetimi ate wo monka mre krona bebi bia wo ewon cry eni kumasi efa DAB plus receiver no so
DAB abefo nimdie ema ho kwan ma wutie kasafidie ahodo bebi bia wo kasafidie omaso nimdie ahwe no ubetumi ate monka emre krona bebi bia wo ewo enkran ni kumase
ampa so won kran na kumase a ne wo hia ne wo DAB plus receiver wo di betie DAB kasafidi ahodo ma won feed ne nda Orange FM ya be kire kwan a won sabetimi aka DAB plus receiver ne bi
Digital Audio Broadcasting DAB abantnasie jiwu DAB plus receiver na wenenje.
Hey, it's Pink October. Join Saks Pharmacy and Orange 107.9 on the 29th of October at the Kumasi City Mall to have your breast checked. Feel for lumps, save those bumps.
Pregnant and feeling confused? Take control of your reproductive health and get the care you need with Mary Stopes Clinic Telemedicine Services. Safe and confidential care from the comfort of your own home. Experience privacy and comfort. Contact Mary Stopes Clinic today on 0800-208-585. WhatsApp 0244-208-585 and take control of your reproductive health. Mary Stopes Clinic Telemedicine Services. Empower women to make informed choices.
You're welcome back to the Orange Sunrise on Orange 107.9. My guys are still here with me. I'd want to play something for them to listen. This is a report from our sister station, City TV. So let me just play the report and let's listen. When we finish, we'll have a conversation about it before we go for community lens.
The $3 billion IMF program Ghana has signed on to is expected to tackle the country's current economic woes, among many other challenges. The program is also expected to promote transparency and fight corruption in Ghana. As part of the program, the government of Ghana made a number of commitments to tackle corruption and improve transparency in its daily operations. In line with this, City News has gathered authorities have requested an IMF technical assistance to conduct a governance corruption diagnostic assessment. This will be used as input into the ongoing efforts to update the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan. The government, under the IMF program, is also expected to address weaknesses in the existing asset declaration system for public officials by enacting a new Conduct of Public Officers Act.
So, Ava, basically, the government of Ghana is requesting for IMF technical support to fight corruption. And when I came across the story yesterday, I've been thinking about it. That do we really need IMF's help to fight corruption in this country? We are seeking IMF technical support.
Maybe we do.
To run a diagnostic.
But if you've been trying to solve a problem,
yes,
and you've not succeeded,
yes,
in your attempt to address a particular problem, perhaps you don't have the ability to solve that problem, and so you need external support. It could be that's the reason why government thinks they've been trying their best, possibly. If you ask them, maybe they have done everything that they can do, but yet still the problem is still in existence and it's hurting us.
But
so it's important they get external support.
But Alpha, don't you think corruption is an internal problem? It's an inbuilt internal problem that if you want to deal with it, you need to solve it from the inside. I mean, people need to be up and doing.
You can say it's attitudinal or behavioral.
Exactly.
But you see, systems can change attitudes when you build proper systems in place. Okay.
But do we?
So that's why a lot of times people say when you deal with the human interface,
yes,
you reduce corruption substantially.
Exactly. But
so that is system.
But
if I don't have the capacity to build that enhanced system, and an organization has that capacity, there's nothing wrong in seeking the organization's support for them to help me in that regard.
But do we have the will to fight corruption? That is where it begins. So, the will to want to fight.
So I want to believe that for the government to be ready and be open to seek external support means that they want to fight it. That's the interpretation I can give it. Because if you don't want something to be solved, you will not seek for anybody's help.
But we're told the special prosecutor was coming to end all of this.
I'm not too sure that's. I'm not too sure that.
I mean, we're made to believe that with the existence of the special prosecutor's office, all of these cases
my
will
view
be
was that,
minimized.
I think my understanding was that yes, just like you said, that
Yes.
the special prosecutor will step in and will help in the fight against corruption. But there's nothing wrong with having different mode of solutions or different systems working together, you understand, to achieve a particular objective. So in my view, if the government thinks that they are overwhelmed, they have tried, the solution they have brought in their quest to fight the thing is not working, there's no harm in seeking external support. And I think that if at the end of the day, the external support coming in will help all of us to achieve the common goal that we all have, which is to minimize corruption, then I think it's good.
Okay, let me go to Abena. Abena, do you have something to say?
Rahim, I think corruption is attitude now, right? It's the behavior of somebody. Unless the person is willing to change. The person is unwilling to change, you can't do anything about it. So I think that we need to work on ourselves internally, change our mindset towards corruption. Because in the outside world where we think that corruption is reduced or it's minimal, still the people there are working or they are living in accordance with the rules there. But here in Ghana, a classic example is where you see a recycle bin, but somebody will still put a rubbish on the floor by the
bin.
Dustbin.
Yes.
Do you get it? It is attitude now. We just need to change our mindset. We're in a country where we don't protect state properties. Somebody throws anything anywhere to say that, how will Zoomland get something to do if they don't find the rubbish lying here? Do you get it? So Rahim, I think that we need to work on ourselves internally. Of course, the systems are there. There's the office of the special prosecutor and all that. But like yesterday, you remember Uncle Ben said that he was trying to block some people from being corrupt, but the people around prevented him from doing that.
Yeah, he was blocking people from being corrupt, but those people blocked him.
But those people blocked him
from blocking. They blocked him from blocking
people, so
them
had
from
to
being
resign.
corrupt.
Do you get it? But if he was being in an environment where the other people around him were supporting his goal to stop corruption, I'm sure he wouldn't have.
Does it have to do with the structure? Like Alpha said, because that's what IMF would definitely bring. They would probably guide us on how to, structure institutions.
Yes, but still, human beings
will still find ways of circumventing it.
Yes, they will still find a way of going behind the structure or whatever it is to make sure that what they want to get done is done at the end of the day.
So what are you saying? We should instead work on our attitude,
yes,
and not be calling people to come and do anything for us. Because eventually, when you fix the systems, when you fix the institutions, the human beings in the institutions will still find a way of running around the laws in the institutions.
Yes.
Anyway, those are my colleagues, Alpha Ali and Abena Echa. You can also send me your thoughts on 0548 501 584. The government of Ghana is calling on help from the IMF to help us deal with corruption. What do you think? Send me a WhatsApp message on 0548 501 584.
Yes. As they are calling them to come and help, is it for free?
That particular detail of the agreement is not yet out. We don't have access to it. But what we know is that they are calling them to help us run government diagnostics, which will help us expose corruption in the system and help us deal with it. So we are hoping that it's going to be
a free service.
But if we are to pay for that service, when the problem itself is our attitude, then I don't know what we would want to achieve as a country. But anyway, you can still send me your thoughts on 0548 501 584. What do you make of what is being discussed this morning? The government of Ghana is calling on help from the IMF to deal with corruption in the country. 0548 501 584. It is almost 8, but before we do community lens, let's go to the market and let's go and get Pepsodent. Now, when you are walking in town and you hear yes charcoal toothpaste, be very careful. Know that not all the toothpaste being sold are good for your teeth, especially as you grow. make sure you buy charcoal toothpaste which contains real charcoal, not dye, to remove stains and whiten your teeth. Make sure the charcoal toothpaste you are buying has charcoal and not dye. Buy charcoal toothpaste with fluoride to strengthen your teeth and protect them from cavities as you grow old. Buy one which has a combination of natural ingredients like charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to give you fresh breath. All these can be found in your trusted Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste, the original charcoal toothpaste, which has fluoride with a unique combination of real charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Buy Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste to protect your teeth for a lifetime. Pepsodent, every smile matters. So whilst you go to town, don't just buy any charcoal toothpaste. If you hear, yes, charcoal toothpaste, make sure it is Pepsodent charcoal toothpaste that you're buying. Now, it's 57 after 7, and we'll have to settle for Community Lens at 8. Do stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Over the years, numerous individuals within the visually impaired community have faced an ongoing and challenging issue related to accessing white canes. Many members of the Ghana Blind Union have lost their lives across the country due to their inability to afford white canes. The product, which is over the years,
Settling in for Community Lens. Today's Community Lens falls on our brothers and sisters that are visually impaired, those that can't see, the blind people. There's something they use that we call the white cane. That is what guides them when they are walking. Now they are complaining that over the years it's become very expensive and they can't even afford a white cane. They will put the Community Lens on them. This is a report by my colleague Fatao Bayaga. Do listen.
over the years, numerous individuals within the visually impaired community community have faced an ongoing and challenging issue related to accessing white canes. Many members of the Ghana Blind Union have lost their lives across the country due to their inability to afford white canes. The product, which is mostly imported, is an important tool performing a number of crucial functions for the blind, including serving as a symbol for identification, a guide for mobility, and an instrument of safety against accidents and other perils. Chairman of the union, Abdul Basit Hamidan, explains the importance of the tool.
It means a walking stick that helps any blind person, a totally blind person who cannot move around. It helps mobility, it helps you to be safe and independently moving around your surroundings. So that is the essence of bringing white cane in even the world. And the reason it is white because it is very reflective. When it is white, everybody sees it. Even in the night, when it is dark, you can see that because of the white, the color, any cars that comes around or any light that touches it reflects. It shows that this person is what? Is holding a white cane. And the white cane becomes more or less like a friend to somebody who is totally blind person. A totally blind person who cannot move around, because as it is holding me like this, if I want to move around, I have to let it be in front so that any object can be pushed before myself. You see that it has become a protector. Yeah. You see, so when I'm going, I will be just bringing it left, right, so that if there is a pole or if there is a ditch or if there is a certain obstacle in front of me, the white cane will first touch before myself so that I will not be hurt.
Unfortunately, just like many of the issues of the blind remain unaddressed, thousands of members of the union in the Ashanti region cannot afford the white cane, which now goes for 100 cedis a copy, leaving them socio-economically excluded. Ivan Hitkoth Fumado is a leading member of the union in the Ashanti region.
So the price of white canes has been rising very steadily. If you look at the fact that it is imported and the exchange rate volatilities on our market, we all know how the exchange rate really plummeted our cedi sometime all the way from last 2 years coming. So it used to be about 70 cedis some years back. It rose to about 85 cedis, and then now it's 100 cedis. And we're talking about the most basic one of it, which is about 100 cedis. If you want more sophisticated ones, you should be ready to even cough up more money to do that. And you imagine that most of the persons who are within the blind bracket find themselves in the low income bracket where they don't have a lot of money. So most of them are not employed. The few that are employed they're not in the best of paying of jobs. So if they need to buy some of these white canes, 100 cedis might look very normal for the person who is in the middle class, has a lot of money, but for them it's a lot of money. Imagine that 100 cedis can do a lot for them, and they have to go and purchase one white cane. It's very difficult for them to purchase. When it becomes that way, then it means that they're also socially and economically excluded from society. They can't come out and walk confidently. They cannot, they always need guides to move around with. Without a guide, they are just relegated to their bedrooms. And even if they have the white canes, the next problem is how accessible are our roads, are our pavements, for them to be able to walk on these pavements and then use these white canes. Last time we did a needs assessment was about 2 years ago. That time we had over 4,500 persons with visual impairment and blindness who were registered members of the Ghana Blinds Union. And out of that, just about 1,000 had white canes. So imagine that now we've increased the numbers of persons who are registered to about 6,000.
Every day, maybe want to say surprise in a was one of the yeah, no, MY. So Obi there told the Ache, we want to say a bebwa. A dependent or would is sick and I was say, or to the Ache, they come.
But ne boy a ding, Ceciano, a drew 100 Ghana cedis.
Under the Disability Act 2006, Act 715, there is a provision that allows for the waiver or duty-free importation of materials specifically designed to support persons with disabilities. This provision aims to reduce the financial burden on individuals or organizations that import such materials, making them more accessible to those who need them. This, the union says, government must ensure that such an act is effectively implemented to lessen their struggles.
One of the things that I would advocate, that first of all, the first line, let's look at our port charges when it comes to some of these mobility tools. When you look in the Disability Act, it tells that some of these things that are imported into the country must come with duty-free and other waivers of quota, so that it's able to be brought in and people will be able to purchase at a very friendly price. Apart from that, government can also take it an initiative that how many blind persons do we have in the country? If we're allocating 100 cedis each every year to buy them white canes, because they are not also everlasting. They break, they get weak, they get worn out and all of that. It will be a very good and positive sign. It won't cost government too much to want to buy white canes for each blind person within the country. Number 3, then we can start looking at local production. I know that I've seen people use bamboo to do bamboo bikes. They have a way of, straightening it to be able to use for bike.
Inadequate educational institutions for the blind in the country, according to the Ghana Blind Union, is worrisome. The situation, they say, is adversely affecting thousands of its members dotted across the region and the nation at large. They lamented that the schools are also inaccessible as they are only located in a few regions, thereby shattering the dreams of a large chunk of the community in Ashanti and other regions.
It comes down to orientation, all right, and education. So there are several families who have always thought that if the person is disabled, the person cannot see, then there is no future for the person has nothing to do. But look, as we stand here, some of us, we've gone through the education all the way to the master's level and completed. Some of us are news editors, some of us are persons working in the media. A lot are teachers, some are lecturers, okay? It's orientation. Blind schools are in serious shortage across the country. So apart from these days that we have Volta region, and then I think the Volta region one is for the EP church, and then there's another one, Bechim Jamase, the school for the deaf. They are now taking some number of blind students. The only places you could have gone to get education as a basic blind student, as a child, was to go to Wa, or to go to the Eastern region, or to go to Bechim. You understand? Blind Union, like several other unions of disability, which galvanizes the bulk of persons with disability so that they can do advocacy, so that they can do empowerment, is not really factored in so much when it comes to our national discourse. I know that at the national level, they have the National Board for Disability and all of that, but when it's trickling down from the national to the regions to even the districts, then it becomes a bit suspect how they are supported, how they are given some funding, and how they are even prioritized. It looks like lots of the unions in the districts are on their own.
If nothing significant is done about the situation, many persons in the blind fraternity across the country will continue to wallow in serious deprivation. Over the years, numerous individuals within the visually impaired community have faced an ongoing and challenging issue related to accessing white canes. Many members of the Ghana Blind Union have lost their lives across the country due to their inability to afford white canes. The product, which is mostly imported, is
And that was the Community Lens report brought to you by my colleague Fatau Bayaga. This is still Orange 107.9 and listening to the Orange Sunrise. The man who brought the report is here with me in studio. Bayaga.
Yes, Rahim.
So, I mean, I was listening to the report.
Yeah.
I hope you're fine.
Why not? Why not?
I almost forgot to ask you how you're doing because I listened to the report and I'm looking at. I mean, I'm listening to the applied, the rate at which people with visual impairment are suffering, and now there's increase in the cost of white cane. What did you experience?
Yes, so Rahim, I must say that this particular tool is very important for the people or our brothers in that particular aspect of society. Now, this particular cane, which was sold at just 50 cedis, 70 cedis, just like some month ago, it's now 100 cedis, and many of these people are actually struggling, especially at a time when the country is facing economic downturn. So they say that these 100 cedis, I mean the 100 cedis for them to use and purchasing this is very, very, it is something that they can't really afford. And apart from that, Rahim, there are many other challenges that these particular people are facing, and one of them is, I'm told that the younger ones in this particular area just struggle to attend school because the schools are very, very far. I mean, there are only a few schools in the country, so many of them do not get opportunity to go to school and all of that. And apart from that, Rahim, they also spoke about the issue of the common fund. They say it comes very late, and even when it comes, it's very, very small for them to use in setting up their businesses and also using and taking care of themselves and their families. So, Rahim, there are so many challenges that our brothers and the Ghana Blind Union are facing, but for them, they say that it's government that would come in to ensure that all of these challenges are addressed so that they are able to live comfortable lives.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. And please do try and keep an eye on them for us. And if there's anything, you let us know. If there's any updates, you let us know. But I have a voice note here from. Let's listen to the voice note before we settle in for our next conversation. I'm still trying to get it ready. You can still keep your messages and your voice notes coming in on 0548 501 584. 0548 501 584. Let me remind you that the show is also live on all our social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook and YouTube at Orange 107.9. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, Orange 107.9. So just log on to your YouTube. We are live over there. Subscribe to the YouTube account and watch us live. See everything that's happening in the studio this morning. But let's listen to this voice note, and when I come back, we'll switch to the next conversation.
Good morning, Busco from Fadi. Damoasi nyame kam ho adwuma papa amoye se se die se abanu e kofre IMF so mwayen nyen fati corruption dia we animguase pa magana e die nti ne yeto abayi mu mpanimfo no mu na ese mo hwema bibia koso obi ye bibi na nya wo na ese wo twena so ene obi ye corruption ya kine ye yinadi obi ye corruption ya kine de na tum wako jail obi aye corruption ya chi no ya ye ni se ya obi odi akire obesuro se asumasi ye chi no ya jeli no 20 years 30 years and misro so who sign is a fight corruption na we dia obi ho asa obi ho abasem ye nka asem ye ko na president abadede da be claim bakro and the president aye claim agent and obi dia che no odi bone a won suro on say adinanye ye kura no a me ye chimi kura president be claim me dada nti die enti president ese ogina ho woni ye to abayi no so be yes anema nya woni ese otimi fine bakro otimi me ni bakro je eko edinasem eni ebetimi fight corruption na yes clearing agent eni die enye no kura edamasi nyame nka mo ho.
And that's Abusco coming through with his voice note. You can also do same on 0548501584. That's my WhatsApp call, so you can send me a WhatsApp message or you can send me a voice note and I'll play it for you. Do stay tuned.
First charity-driven water to give back to our communities. Awake is a brand that makes a difference. We impact the world around us. That is why for every bottle of Awake water you buy, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. Yes, every time you quench your thirst with a refreshing bottle of Awake, you're helping contribute to save lives. So keep drinking Awake purified drinking water and let's continue making a difference. Awake Water, one for life. Supporting the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA
approved. Do you want to increase sales? Want to drive more traffic towards your business? Business is so unpopular, even your neighbors don't know about it. Maybe you're doing great, but you can do better. Here's why. Your business is lacking certain vitamins. Vitamins D for digital media. Get your business to grow online with Black Ash services and make a difference today. This October, Black Ash is making it easy for you to get your businesses online at an affordable rate. Get an engaging Instagram and Facebook account, website, 2 television commercials, post promotions, Google business graphics for your business, and so much more with Black Ash. Watch your business grow and connect with a global audience that won't hurt your pocket. This campaign is to help build brands and promote small to medium scale businesses online. Don't save for later. Call us now 054 9136 174 0322009605. You can visit www.blackashservices.com. Grow your business with Black Ash Services.
Welcome back to the Orange Sunrise. This is Orange 107.9, and at this point in time, we would want to settle and have a conversation that is of great interest to everybody. We are still in the month of October, and anytime you hear October, what comes to mind is Pink October, which is awareness campaign for the fight against breast cancer. So we want to settle and have a conversation on breast cancer. Joining me to have this conversation, there's actually a program coming up, and I'm sure we'll get there, but everything is geared towards promoting the fight against breast cancer. Joining me in studio this morning is the Women's Commissioner of KNUST SRC. Her name is Miss Mavis Akobila, and she's not here alone. She's here with Mamiya Jesiwa. She's a medical student and National Union of Ghana Student Secretary for KNUST. They've joined me in studio to help us understand what they are cooking for us and help us also make sense of what October is all about. When we talk about Pink October, what comes to mind and everything. Already we know that anytime we get into the month of October, there's a war that is waged against breast cancer. I would want to start with Mamiya, but before that, ladies, you're welcome. Kindly get closer and pull the microphone closer to you, and then yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, now all of you are audible. Let me also remind my listeners that we are live on YouTube at Orange 107.9 FM, and we are also live on our Facebook at Orange 107.9. So if you can hear their voices and you're imagining how they look, trust me, they look nicer than the voices. So you can get on Facebook or YouTube and then look at the beautiful ladies I have with me in the studio. I'll start with Mamiya. Mamiya, when we talk about breast cancer, you are a medical student. What comes to mind? What is it? I'm trying to get an understanding of what it is.
Okay. So there are cells in our bodies, and then these cells make up tissues, and then these tissues make up organs, and then there's the organ system. So when there are overgrowth of cells with no control, like excessive overgrowth of the cells, that is when cancer occurs. And then when this overgrowth occurs in the breast, this causes the breast cancer. So breast cancer comes about as a result of overgrowth of cells, which is out of control, basically.
But what causes the overgrowth of cells? How can cells just be there and they are overgrowing?
Okay, so there's a gene called the BRCA1 and then the BRCA2 gene. They are tumor suppressor genes which help keep the growth of cells in control. So when there's a mutation in these genes, and then this causes the breast or the cells to overgrow or grow out of control and then causes breast cancer. Because there's nothing to keep them in check, so they just grow and grow and grow.
Okay. If somebody has breast cancer, what should the person expect? What would make you know that you're either developing breast cancer or you already have it?
Okay, so we all know ourselves. We know ourselves very well. And then you know when something is going wrong. So if you realize that there's something not so well about your breast, you need to talk about it. Especially if there's some lumps or there's a discharge from the nipples, there's change in size, change in shape, the color around it is changing. I think you should be alarmed. These are all signs of breast cancer.
Wow. So with this overgrowth of cells and all the words you are using, that doesn't only happen to ladies or those of us over here.
Not at all. Men are also prone to breast cancer, but
we can get it too.
Yes, in as much as it is more rampant in ladies or females, men can also get it. Just that it is a bit rare, but it's not impossible. Men do get breast cancer. So the awareness is not for females only; it's for males as well. Let's all keep ourselves in checks.
But I would come back to you again and let's have a conversation. But let me go to Mavis. Right. Mavis, you are the Women's Commissioner of the SRC in K University, and just like she said, all along, I'm sure there are people who are listening and they are thinking that anytime we talk about breast cancer, it's about women. This time around, she has introduced a new dimension. That means if I can even get some, I didn't even think it's possible that I get breast cancer. But anyway. Your commission, what do you have for ladies this October?
Okay, so we are having a series of activities for the whole month.
Oh, go ahead.
So, yeah, we are having a series of activities for the whole month. We started with online engagements, and then we are moving towards voice screening, and that's going to take place on the 22nd of October at Sewanyako Girls Senior High School.
Oh, you are doing breast screening?
Yeah, free of charge.
Free?
Yeah, at Sewanyako Girls Senior High and Kote Junior High School.
Sewanyako Dechemso? And then Kote Junior High School?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, are you doing it alone or you are partnering with somebody to get it done?
So we are partnering with the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, the Konfana Oche Teaching Hospital, and what's their name?
The Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, so there are 3 organizations, and the other one is Hope Exchange Medical Center.
Okay, and you're doing free breast screening for everybody. But in Ghana, if you say free, all of us will come. The whole Kumasi. Can you screen all of us in one day?
If you can,
or you are doing it for days? Are you doing everything in one day, or you have plans of doing it for days?
It's for days. So we have 22nd and on the 24th.
Okay, so it means everybody who is listening that would probably want to be a part can come. But now students are home. Mm-hmm. How do you plan on getting them? Because I'm asking because you're SRC, you're Women's Commissioner for Students. And so in as much as those of us outside, we can't participate. Now that they're in the house, how do you get the students to get involved?
Okay, so we are engaging them online. That's with the education. But we have plans for them next academic year. So we'll be having some free breast screening as well for them when school resumes.
Okay, so you are doing this, and when school reopens, you do another
free breast
screening for them.
Yes,
I'll come back to you and let's talk about the activities. But let me go back to Mamia. Mamia, you mentioned we've had a conversation about breast cancer, but how do you screen yourself? She wants to do screening for us. So if I can't make it, how do you screen yourself?
Okay, so there's self-examination that you can do. And then you can also go to the hospital for a qualified practitioner to also screen you. So for the self-examination, you can stand in the mirror with your hand on top of your breast like this. You can move it to the nipple down. You move from down to the nipple. Like you move around the breast in circles to find out if there are lumps or anything unusual around the breast, and then you act on it.
So since you said guys can get breast cancer, how do we also screen?
You also do the same thing. You find out if there's something wrong. There's a lump, there are patches around the skin area. Yes, you find. Yes.
Okay, that's right. Anyway, that's fine. So if you're a guy and you're listening, you can also get involved. Let them screen you and see. It's not an impossibility that you would get breast cancer. You can. If you're a lady and you're also listening, I mean, don't say you'd want to self-examine. You are not as good as the professionals. Just try. And what date is your screening? 24th
and 22nd.
22nd and 24th.
Yeah.
So either Sewonya Senior High at the Chemso or Kote Junior High. There's going to be free breast screening. So if you're listening, you're a lady, you can probably, just pass by. Just get yourself screened. If you're a guy, you're around. Even if you are not around, try and make sure that you get screened for breast cancer. But before you guys leave us, I would want to pick your quick thoughts on something. Let me start with Mavis. Do you think the noise being made about breast cancer is enough? Do you think the whole noise has been made about the fight against breast cancer, do you think it is enough?
Do I think it's enough?
Yes.
Not really, because we still have ladies that are shy to come up and even go for the screening. So yeah, I think if more people come on board, and even if the males come to join us so that we can all fight this breast cancer, I think it will help. Okay, so you're attributing it to shyness. People are shy to come up. Let me take Mameya's thought on it. Do you think the awareness, do you think the noise is enough? Because I chanced upon somebody some days ago who just knows about breast cancer, but she doesn't even know how grave the situation could get. Do you think the fight, the noise has been made enough?
Okay, so for the noise, it's not really about the noise, but it's about the effectiveness of the noise. I mean, we are here this morning talking about breast cancer, but how many people are listening to us, and how many people are willing to take even something over here? People have diverted the actual talk on breast cancer to talking about breast itself. Like, they are sexualizing the breast cancer. So in as much as we are creating awareness, there are other people who are also making our work was 90. Like, we're talking about the cancer that is found in the breast, but they are talking about the shapes and sizes and how sucking breast and all that, show me your breasts. I mean, if we go about it that way, obviously we won't get to our target. We won't get to what we want to do.
So people shouldn't. But you said if you want to screen for breast cancer, you need to hold it, you need to touch it and do all those things.
Yes, but we have a way of doing it. You don't just press it like you're pressing it. I don't know, fan milk.
But if you're a wife, you can let your husband screen you for it. Can't you let your husband?
Yes, you can.
So if your husband is touching it.
If you're just touching and you're pressing, that is not screening. That one is between both of you. You know what you are doing to yourselves. But if you actually want to screen for the breast, like you want to screen the breast and find out if there's something wrong, there's a way to go about it.
So people shouldn't sexualize breast.
No, they shouldn't sexualize breast cancer. They should, not the breast. I mean, breast is breast, but they shouldn't sexualize the breast cancer awareness.
Okay, but I'm sure all of these things came about because you launched. I think there's something you call No Bra Day or something.
Yes, so
all of those things, they contribute to all of these things.
The No Bra Day, as a matter of fact, was brought about to celebrate women who have had their breasts taken off as a result of breast cancer.
I don't even know this. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
That is the actual reason why we are celebrating No Bra Day. But of course, Gen Z.
So you people are sexualizing it.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. They've decided to sexualize the campaign itself, but apparently it's not like that. And these people who we are celebrating can't even come out because those with breasts are now showing their breast on No Bra Day, when it's not even for them. The day is not even about them.
Oh, so the day is not for those with breasts.
No, it's for those without breasts, to showcase their body, to show off that they are strong women who actually underwent these things and they are still surviving. They are survivors. To show how beautiful their bodies are. But no, our people.
Last one before you go. There are doctors that are saying that when you suck their breasts, you won't get breast cancer. I mean, not necessarily doctors, but it's in the awareness campaign. It's somewhere in the campaign that you need to touch it. You need to all those things so that
Sucking the breast does not necessarily prevent breast cancer, but
hey, we've been taught a lot of bad things in the past.
That is why I'm saying sexualizing it is actually making our work cost 90. Because in as much as we are giving the education, people are also changing the narrative. So it's not really about sucking of the breast. But you see, when women are breastfeeding, there's a hormone release called prolactin. And then this prolactin protects the breast, sort of. So this actually protects the breast against breast cancer. So it's about breastfeeding, not men sucking breast.
So it's about breastfeeding your
kids. Thank you. It's about the breast milk being
Oh.
produced. The hormone prolactin protects the breast in a way. But it's not about you coming to suck the breast, like sucking the breast.
But every sucking is sucking.
Exactly. That is why, because they don't qualify the sucking, they've made the sucking something else. But it's sucking, yes.
Anyway, maybe what's the name of your program? The one on the 22nd and the 24th.
Okay,
What's the
so
name
it's
of
a
it?
KUST woman together against breast cancer.
Can you see woman together against breast cancer?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. That's fine. And it's on the 22nd
And the 24th.
24th. When do you start? Time?
10:30 a.m. and then 9:30 a.m.
Okay, so 22nd is 10:30 and 24th is 9:30.
Yes,
At Sewanyako Girls, the Chemso, and then Kote Junior.
And one small thing, since we are from KNUST, I would like to add this small thing. Our day of giving is still ongoing, so it's not over yet. So you can still show your appreciation to the school by dialing the short code and then giving something small. Yeah.
But when you step outside, there's a lady sitting at the reception.
Okay.
I think she has dreadlocks. She's an old student. Please be careful and let her
Oh,
let her
alumni,
also
wow, our
give.
target.
Let her also. She hasn't given yet, so let her give. But thank you very much, guys, for your time this morning. That was Mavis Akobila, SRC Women's Commissioner of KNUST, and she was here with Mameya Ajisiwa. She's a medical student and the local NUCS General Secretary of KNUST. Do stay tuned. I'll come back and then we'll get into the question of the day. This is still Orange Sunrise on Orange 107.9, Kumasi's music leader. My guys are here with me in studio. Very soon we'll be getting into the question of the day. Guys, you people are welcome. You are welcome once again. Hey, but before we get into the question of the day, there's something I want to find out for you people. Is there, Alpha, is there small marriage and there's big marriage? I
have no idea. Please, the informant who gave you that information, ask him.
Alpha, I am the witness in the case. I'm the person who relayed the message to the informant.
That's what.
That somebody said. You know, Alpha, I actually chanced on a phone call. And when the receiver answered, the person calling the receiver said, "Oh, hello," and the guy said, "Hello, mpacho me ware kakra na nka me enquiries." So I wanted to know if our area were kakra woman.
Yes, you see, I mean, there are limits. There are people who marry properly, and there are people who do limited kind of marriage.
So those that are saying me ware kakra no.
Yes, he's conservative. Everything is simple. Everything is managed. I mean, there's no a lot of pressure. Yes, so that is my understanding of.
Abra, that information. How do you understand me ware kakra? When somebody says me ware kakra.
Yes, like Alpha said, he's trying to be conservative. He's trying to conserve money. Do it in a very, very.
Actually, No, Charlie. It's not fair. The way the old man at the top, the way he created things, No, it's not fair like that.
But, the money you have to spend on money. Photography, food, and all that. If the man says me ware kakra, I mean, he knows what he's saying.
we shall allow him to ware kakra.
Let's allow him to ware kakra.
Anyway. But before we get into question, let me remind ourselves that 10th of November is the date. Daviv 2023. Yeah, so let's get into question of the day. Today we are looking at science and maths. There's the aura around the science and maths quiz. That is just a section of the science and maths program we read all over. But we're asking, after science and maths quiz or after science and maths, what next? Because you realize that, just like Alpha said before Ashanti Focus, when you watch the quiz, you hear tetraozosulfate, bromide, chloride, hydro, you hear the words. And the young boys that are in the quiz, sometimes they won't start the question, you end them, you answer, and they will answer correct you too. The boys are sharp, they are smart at that point. But after that senior high school science and maths and and even aside those that went for the quizzes, there are people in other schools that when you see the way they understand the chemistry and the physics and all that, you marvel. But look at the state of science and maths at the top in this country. Look at the level of technology in this country. Look at the kind of inventions that are happening. There's absolutely nothing happening. So we ask, the science and maths that we learn in this country, after that, what next? Because it looks as if at the base, we're extremely brilliant when it comes to science and maths. The numbers, the XY plus X224, then they'll give you answer. They will write exam and they will come and you see the papers and you are marveled. But after senior high school, get into the university, the engineering, what are they producing? The pharmaceuticals, what are they doing? The sciences, you could probably mention human biology. That is fine. That's medicine. We see doctors. But the engineering, what are we seeing? So we're asking a simple question today. After science and maths, what next? And do we also think that at this point in time, something needs to be done about it? Should we invest more energy in the science and maths like it is right now? Because it looks as if at the top, where we need production, we are not seeing production at the top. We're just seeing it at the base. where they will learn, they will memorize, you ask questions, and they know it already and they will answer. So this morning, that's what we are looking at. After the whole science and maths aura, not the quiz alone, but everything surrounding it. Looking at what we are seeing at the top, do we think science and maths is something we are supposed to pay attention to as a country? Or we should shift our attention to a different sector that would help us more? That's what we are looking at today. After science and maths, the rate at which the kids are brilliant. They are giving you the answers, they are pouring the answers. But we don't see that at the top. So we're asking a simple question. The science and maths that we are heavily investing in Ghana, there are quizzes all over and everything. Do you think that we really need to pay attention to it as a country? Or we should probably invest our energy in something else that will give us more output at the top than we are seeing from science and maths? Let me go to my guys. Let me start with Abina. Abina, the science and maths. When you lose, they will throw you. That's a quiz. When you lose, they will throw you. Yeah. When we write WASI and we are done, we are counting the number of A's. How many people got A's in science in your school? Oh, maths in your school. We are looking at A's and B's and whatever. But at the top, we see little to no output from everything we learn at the base. I mean, some people are tempted to believe that we chew and pour at the base. But the point is, at this point in time, as a country, the energy we invest in science and maths, is it necessary, or we should invest our attention and energy into a different field? What do you think?
I watched an interview, a delay interview with the quiz mistress, Professor Elsie Kaufman, and she passed a very, very profound comment that she went to, I think, one European country for a robotics national competition, and then the winners of the National Science and Maths quiz that year represented Ghana in the robotics competition. And what had happened was that theoretically the boys were very good, Rahim. They were very good. You ask the questions, they answer. But practically the boys performed abysmal. Like their performance was so horrible that they couldn't even make it anywhere in the competition. So the woman at the time was advocating that we should invest as a country most of our resources into the practical side of the science and maths. Because, Rahim, that is what is ruling, that's what is moving the world now. Science, practical, like the practical part of science, not the theory part is what is moving the economy now. So I think the Ministry of Education is doing a good job. They have introduced STEM, I think science, technology, engineering, and math. It is now in the junior high school level, where they received funding from Korea somewhere in April to implement the STEM policy also in the junior high school, so that as they grow, so they get to the senior high school where the STEM structure is already there through to the university, they can be able to have that practical side of science. And I'm sure the Ghana Education Service, together with the Ministry of Education, they are putting measures in place to be able to build more labs, science resource centers, so that we can be able to, create stuff that when the government invests in it, like China is investing in their science and technology department of their country. I mean, it will work for us. So, Rahim, that's the bit I can say on that.
So we should shift a little bit from what we are doing towards the practical part of the science and maths.
Which is already ongoing. Like it's already there.
So we should invest more in that side.
In the STEM policy, yes.
Okay, that is right. Ava.
Yes, Rahim.
Ava, science and maths, they are.
You see, when I was in school,
yes.
The reason why I really comment the young guys is that when I was in school and learning integrated science, I didn't do science as a course. I did general arts. And I was doing integrated science.
Integrated science.
The things I was reading, I couldn't comprehend what I was reading. So I'm like, this thing, is it that we are just supposed to read it, chew it, go and write, or it's something that is understandable? So even understanding the things I was reading, balancing the equations, the chemicals, how many times did I even visit the lab? I'm not too sure. So I was learning the science. The guy will come. He's teaching me the thing. But the thing, I know the Bible.
You are not seeing top.
Seriously, I know the Bible.
You are not seeing top.
I'm like, I'm in this class. So before I go to the class, I will tell myself, oh, today, Alpha, please be attentive. Follow the process. Understand the thing. I'll go.
I plan your mind.
First 5 minutes, the teacher will succeed in confusing me.
Then you are watching a Chinese movie.
I am hardly convinced.
But the teacher will confuse you.
I'm like, oh, how?
Chinese movie.
So that is why I'm thinking that the guys who are able to even understand. Yesterday I was telling someone, for the guy to even understand what the woman is saying, for him to have a sense of applying some principles to come to an answer. No, the guys are good. It's not easy like that. I've learned the science of
all of us did.
My IQ was yes. So for the start, I think that the guys are really, really intelligent young guys.
Yes.
I mean, I was told that one of them is a Form 1 student.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Form 1.
The Stephen guy from Opoku High
Form 1.
School. Yeah.
How did that happen?
You know there's a junior high science and maths quiz.
So he was part
of the junior high science and maths quiz. And then I think he won. Then he's now in OAS. So the guy is a science.
No. So first of all, because you see, knowledge is also about your ability to recollect what you've learned, even before you apply. Largely. If you learn a thing and you forget it, I mean, you cannot apply anything. So for the young guys to be able to learn the thing, apply it, be able to work out the answers, and be able to respond, it means that these are guys who are very intelligent. So first of all, we need to praise them. Now, secondly, you're asking the question, beyond the quiz, what next?
Yes. Beyond the confusion in your class. For people that understood the confusion the teacher brought. What's next?
I want to believe that people who participate in the contest understand it. It's not like just you and Paul. I want to believe they understand the processes. So before they arrive at an answer, I want to believe they understand what it means. And they understand that it could be applied. Because all of them who do, of course, all of them are science students.
Yes.
They do practicals, intense practicals.
Yes.
They visit the laboratory quite often.
Yes.
So they understand the chemicals, they understand how the equation works, so they transfer it from the piece of paper to the laboratory, and they're able to do it. So I want to believe if the platform is given, with the STEM that I've been talked about, I think that these are people who really can become finest engineers in our country, because some few of them who have gone to universities outside of Ghana are doing amazing stuff. You understand? It is so should I say unfortunate that a lot of them are interested in doing the medicines, which is also good. But I want to see a lot of them veering into engineering too, because we have a lot of engineering problems in this country, right? A lot of, even the way we built, even our agriculture, the research that's supposed to go into agriculture to boost food production. The research that has to go into alternative resources in building. The research that has to go into IT and how we can leverage on IT to develop. We have a lot of areas that we are lacking. So if these guys are being encouraged to go into these areas, they can become finest scientists and will help this country grow. Because I have no doubt that these are very intelligent young people.
The way they answer the questions.
They are very, very intelligent. So you just need to give them the platform. So that is why we need to encourage the education ministry for introducing STEM. STEM is a wonderful idea, right? If we are able to focus much attention and resources on STEM, it is going to produce a lot of amazing scientists in our country. Because for me, I think these people can compete with any other science student across the world. You just have to you just have to give them the practical aspect of the whole thing, because they are sharp, very intelligent young people. So for me, I think what needs to be done is to encourage them to go into not only medicine, engineering
especially.
You understand?
All forms of engineering.
Yes, they have to be encouraged to go into some of these things so that they will come back and help this country, because these are people who have the capacity, who have shown to us that the IQ is that high. Seriously, what they are doing, I mean, some of us, we are just like I said, I'm just waiting for the madam to say correct or incorrect.
They will listen to the question.
have no idea what she's talking about.
You know,
I have no idea. If I'm asked to answer, and that would be the qualification for me to go to heaven, it will be suicidal. Seriously, I was listening to some of the questions. I was like, these things. So these are people who have already told you that they have that IQ level. You just have to encourage them to do the practical session. Let the learning process be more practical.
Okay.
You understand? Let it be more research based. Let them use their hands. Let them try the equation, the chemicals. Let them try it. You understand? The more you do so, they will become amazing scientists, I believe.
So you also think that we should shift more to the practical.
Yes.
The theory is becoming.
Yes.
The theory is becoming too much.
I think these people, when you give them the practical, they will be amazed. They want to do it. Yeah. You understand? They want to do it. So they just have to get the opportunity. Right?
We shouldn't encourage the young ones to learn because they want to pass exams. That is what happens in most of the institutions. They learn because of exam.
Yes.
They don't learn because they want to.
You see, that's. But you, what was the reason? That was the reason. So currently, if you ask me, some of the things you learned back in school.
I don't remember.
So nowadays, someone said, if a young lady in primary 5 brings you an assignment to do for him or her, and you don't have your phone and you don't have internet,
I'm telling you, it will be massive. Class 5 homework.
You have to Google it.
Okay. This one is like then you break it down to her level. Yeah, you read it at the top. You don't have any book, no internet.
It will be very difficult to answer.
So that is.
But it's true. It's true because I remember during my time in senior. I could chemical structure, chemistry.
Thank you.
When you draw it now, once I see, I answer. Draw chemical today.
You can't do it. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Chemical structure. But those days when you draw it and I spot it, I can just answer. But anyway, you let me allow our friends to also come in what they think. 0541-022-318. 0541-022-318. I have a message here. This one says, this one is coming in for Fred Ejekum. You can also send me a WhatsApp message on 0548-501-584. 0548-501-584. That is my WhatsApp line. You can send me, or you can call me, and let's have a conversation on 0541-022-318. Do you think that the science and maths we do in the country today has become more of theory? And if it's becoming a problem, what should we do? My colleagues in CDO are suggesting that we should hit more on the practical aspect of science and math.
You see, the problem of the day, I'm looking forward to a day when it will become more practical. And they will not have to write anything on the board. And
maybe they will arrange some circuit for you.
So that you will do something.
Arrange the circuit and let's see.
You understand? I am looking forward to that day.
At least that practical part would help us. This one is from Fred Ejekum. He says, Demon needs following until he creates something special for the country. The IQ is 360 degrees. I'm sure Demon is the Prempe boy.
Yes, and the message is coming also from a Prempe boy, I'm sure.
Oh no, but the boy is sharp. You can the Prempe Demon boy. He's very sharp.
The guy they call Cobra.
The guy they call Demon.
But
he's in Prempe Cali.
Charlie, the young guys.
The boys are sharp. Alpha. Hey. The boys are sharp.
For me to be watching the quiz and to have no idea of what they are doing.
But somebody is answering this.
And someone is aware of what is being talked about.
You're watching it.
Me, I'm there. I'm watching it. I'm following keenly. But Charlie.
Tetra bromide. And the woman will say correct. They will clap. I only heard correct. I only heard correct.
No, the guys are good. The guys are really
I didn't hear anything
again.
I just heard correct. The guys are good. Let us pay attention to the practical, as my colleagues are saying. I have a caller here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Yes, so you can join me on my WhatsApp console 0548-501-584. 0548-501-584. Do you think that the science and math in the country has become too much of theory, that we need to look at something else? My guys in studio are saying, let's do practical. Let's play. But I mean, Alpha, suggestion you gave is very, very true.
I think they should.
A time where the problem of the day
become much
more practical.
So that you do it, you not just write it.
They arrange some circuit for you to come in. You remember we were having a conversation with Dr. Jima the other time.
Yes.
And he said during his time in the UK, when he was in university, undergraduate
they were producing
engine for Land Rover. Undergraduate university students produce engines for Land Rover.
Straight.
Undergraduate.
Proper engineering. And these young kids, when they are given the opportunity, they can do it, right?
Oh yes.
They just have to get.
Once you guide them and they have a way of going about it, they can still do it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you are calling me from? Hello. I'm having a lot of problem with my network this morning. But
I'm told that MTN for some days now. They are not helping us at all. I don't know
MTN. But you can join me on WhatsApp 0548-501-584. You can send me a voice note or send me a WhatsApp message. This one says the National Science and Maths quiz has to be reviewed and attached with the practicality of the theory, which has become enough for students. I think his comment is in line with what is happening in the studio right now. That even for the quiz itself, more of the practical. I mean, there are some of the questions that could even be practical.
Yes.
I mean, we can ask you how many volt of energy is. I don't know if I'm confusing all of you, but myself.
Nobody's confused because you have not said anything yet.
Me myself, that I'm asking the question, I'm confused. Don't worry.
Whether you're confused or not.
Anyway, hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you are calling me from?
This is Yao.
Yao. Yes, Yao. Talk to me.
You see, the science and math quiz, the schools are giving catalog around what they'll be asking them, on which the students are trained. The catalog, the whole thing they'll be asking them to the various schools which the science teachers train them on. You see, our study of science is only based on what the whites have done already. We have not taken any course of studying science on our own. Today, if you go to university doing your project work,
hello, Yao. My network line is giving me a problem. Yao, please do try and come back again. Let me see if this time around the network will allow me to put you through 0541 022 318.
Rahim, you know, I won't be surprised if there are still schools in Ghana now that there are science students there and they have never seen a pipette.
Oh, a lot. I'm sure there are a lot of schools like that in this country that they don't know what a burette is. They don't know what a pipette is.
What a water can is.
Not to talk of a beaker.
Rahim is very sad.
You're not supposed to do science in that
Alpha,
school.
do you know pipette? Do you know what a pipette is?
No, I mean, Alpha is a general art student.
So he did integrate science for science.
But they didn't really.
I saw it in the pamphlet.
They didn't really.
Exactly. I saw it.
But
they drew it in the pamphlet for us.
Exactly. But you know, when it comes to more practical, the chemistry students that get access to all of these things regularly.
She wants to subject me to public ridicule.
Subjecting your.
Because I did something small.
But I mean, yes, it's true. But Alpha, the practicality of science in the country. Hello, good morning. Let me get this caller. Hello. The practicality of science in the
maybe
system.
they can send in voice notes.
Yes. I'm having problems with my network lines for calls, so kindly redirect your comment as voice notes to my WhatsApp console 0548 501 584. Do send me a voice note or a WhatsApp message and I'll read it or play it for you. 0548 501 584. But Ava, talk of practicality. You know, for the schools that even have the science labs, we would have to share. We'll do one setup and 20 people. All of us, we are standing by it.
So that is why
only one person is doing it. So if that one person after school goes to do law. Those of us that are left in science, none of us know how to handle breath because we never touched it in SS. Let me see if I can get this caller. Hello, good morning. Hello. Same problem. So, Abna, you did science, right? You an art student.
I can.
Leave me alone. What are you saying?
For what of a title? Have you seen any science student occupying that position before? No, in your lifetime as a student.
No, they don't.
A science student occupying that. We have never seen. Huh?
What position? There are two positions I have.
Minister for Agriculture in your school. Food and Agriculture, DHP.
You know,
they don't have time.
Abna was also chief this thing. Abna said.
Chief what?
Chief
drama.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm quite so glad.
Abna was chief.
It's a position barbarian.
Leave me alone. Anyway, you can keep your WhatsApp messages coming through on 0548 501 584. I'm having a little problem with my call line, and so let me see if I can get this one. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. No, you can send me a WhatsApp voice note or a WhatsApp message on 0548 501 584. We are still on the question of the day. We are asking a simple question. After science and math in this country is becoming more of theory, how do we survive as a country with theory? What next? What's supposed to be the way forward? Send me a WhatsApp message on 0548 501 584. Or you can send me a voice note and I'll play it for you. Let me see if I can get this one. Hello. Today it looks as if my call line is disturbing me. You can send me a WhatsApp message 0548 501 584. 0548 501 584. Hello. Send me a WhatsApp message. This one says there's nothing new under the sun. Galileo Galilei, father of sciences, needs to be acknowledged in our school. Galileo left all formulas behind for our new generation. This is Fred Ajekum, listening to us all the way from Weja, Accra. He's doing so through the DAB.
Hey, it's Pink October. Join Saks Pharmacy and Orange 107.9 on the 29th of October at the Kumasi City Mall to have your breast checked. Feel for lumps, save those bumps. Quick Credit, lending made simple. Call Quick Credit on 030-220-0390 or 0596-920-833. Terms and conditions apply.
In living color, 107.9 Orange.
Night. Increase your sales. And we would settle for the conversation. Joining me to have the conversation today is our good friend King Zuba. King, good morning and welcome. Good morning. I hope you are good.
By the grace of God, I'm well. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing good too.
We're blessed God.
I'm doing good. Before we get into other matters, I'd want you to touch on the conversation we're having when you enter the studio. The question of the day. Do you think that, I don't know your background, but I heard you have a background in finance or economics?
Yeah.
Yes, but let's talk about science. Do you think the science and maths in the country has become too much of theory that we need to pay attention to something else?
I feel that in reality, this weekend has been something that I've been talking about, that our scientific community has been a big failure.
The scientific community in Ghana has been a big failure.
Yeah.
Why?
You went to K University?
Yeah, I went to K University.
When the university wanted to do a radio station, who did the transmitter?
I don't know who did, but I know we didn't do it. I mean, I don't know who did, but I know we didn't do it.
You didn't do it.
Yes, I know we didn't do it.
It should tell you we're a big failure, because if the nation's foremost university, premier scientific university, wants to do a radio station, putting some transistors together to do a transformer, of all the electrical engineers who have many degrees, Professor Dr. Debe.
There's Professor Emeritus, even in Kenya.
Professor Emeritus, and it will take to construct a transmitter for KNUST. And UTEC hasn't even got a polytechnic degree. So she tell you we are a big failure. I mean, when I was growing up, I used to hear about Tratec at KNUST. And we were told that we were developing tractors. What has happened to them?
You used to hear about
Tratec. It was a fair.
Trade and technology fair. Tratec. Oh, yeah, I mean it's still there. But now,
what technology that have they exhibited during those fairs?
Well, I mean, I think for now it has become more of an idea challenge. You present your idea, and if the person who wins that, and then maybe we'll see how we can support the person.
You see, I think the media has not helped in our quest to develop, really. The media has focused so much attention on politicians and politics, partisan politics. Every morning when you get up and you tune into a radio station in any part of Ghana, you have a host will put an MPP and NDC person behind the panel. Sometimes they will invite a CVP person once in a while, a PNC person once in a while, a PPP person once in a while. And then all that we talk about, it's partisan politics. And we leave the most important things that ought to propel this country to greater heights unattended to. You see, where we are, the media has sort of become the psyche shaper of our country. So what it means is that it is what is discussed in the media that the whole country focuses on. So if the media is over-concentrating on political activities, then it means that things would either get on the periphery or they are forgotten about entirely. The result is that people will not live up to their responsibilities, because at the end of the day, the politicians become the easy target. They get blamed for everything that happens, and we leave a critical aspects of our development drive unattended to. So to that extent, I'll say our scientific community has been a very big favor. When you ask them to talk about things that are in their head, just like Bawumia, they will chew them out.
But why is Bawumia catching a stray bullet?
No, he behaves like a person in the scientific community. That's why.
The way he just drifted from science to Bawumia.
Yeah, he's a good example of the failure that I'm experiencing from the scientific community. You see, when he asks them, put them behind microphones, anyway, he asks them questions, they will sound intelligent. The end result, nothing to show.
But I mean, talk of the science community, don't you think it's because they don't have because for you to assemble an engine, you need the parts.
Okay.
If you don't have the parts, how do I assemble an engine?
So do the basic things. And in developing an economy, you must look at your comparative advantage.
Okay.
Where your strength is. And then you build on it, looking at the market environment.
Okay.
And then you take advantage of your comparative advantage and position yourself to be attractive within the market space. So, Russia-Ukraine war brought out something that we have the capacity to tap into. Production of cereals. It is the Russia-Ukraine war that made us come to realize that a lot of African countries use grain. And much of that grain comes from either Russia or Ukraine. So when it is that we can no longer get the volumes that we used to get from Russia and Ukraine, what it tells me is that then within the African continent, there's the market for grain. And in that case, I'm talking about wheat, sorghum, millet, and rice, and all those stuff. Okay. So you sit at KNUST here, and you have an agric department who is much aware of the fact that the Russian-Ukraine war has given Africa this challenge. So if I were part of the agricultural scientific community there at KNUST, between Brunei Annex, heading towards the Ahinsan Gate,
yes,
there's land.
I mean, there's even a school farm behind Brunei complex, the new Brunei. Behind that place is the school farm. There's a very big farm over there.
And that land, I see, has the potential for cereal production because there's a lot of water there.
Yeah.
So, by this time, 3 years to a year on after Russia invaded Ukraine, I was expecting to see not much more than a 4-acre wheat plantation. One that has been scientifically worked on and can give us quality yield within a short space of time. And then they will tell us that we at KNUST Agri Department, we have been able to develop this particular wheat. It will take 2 to 3 months to get to germinate.
Okay.
Now, at maturity level, 4 acres can get us 100 bags. This is how much we spent in developing this 4 acreage wheat plantation farm. We believe that the government should invest X amount of money into producing this kind of wheat over an X hectare of land. We will be able to make Y amount of money. And then let's see if our government will not give it attention. Once we are able to do that, what it means is that we are creating new avenues of employment, new avenues of creating revenue for ourselves as individuals and for the Ghanaian economy. But what is happening? Nothing. And we don't discuss this. 3 days ago, I read something on Ghana Web. And I'm told, again, a foremost and premier scientific university, KNUST, you have aeronautic programs.
Yes.
And then a company that is working at our offshore has decided to donate 2 helicopters to aid in the aeronautic programs at KNUST.
Yes.
And the GRA is demanding tax on those 2 helicopters. And what has been the attitude of KNUST towards that? Virtually, they say nothing. Why is GRA taking money? GRA is taking money for government to have so much to impact on our welfare and our well-being. Is that not it?
Yes.
Okay. KNUST, which has introduced those 2 programs, is required to get those implements. Is that not it?
We are supposed to.
Our government, with all the taxes that we have been able to collect, cannot buy even 1 helicopter for KNUST. Is that not it? So you don't have it. Somebody comes to donate it. And then the person that is supposed to take the money and give to government for government to buy the helicopter for you says that pay money before. Have you seen somebody going to take Sikadu and pay money before the person gets Sikadu? If the person has money, the person won't come for Sikadu. KNUST cannot buy it. Government cannot buy it. Somebody is donating it to you. The GRA that is supposed to take money for government to go and buy that helicopter, which it cannot buy, says that pay us money. And KNUST is quiet.
But when you are doing business, you invest money to get money.
Yes, you invest money to invest. But you see, this is it.
Yes.
It is once the program is being run, it is the responsibility of the government of Ghana to provide the tools with which will make the program viable. You understand? And I'm saying that GRA is supposed to create money for government to get the tools, right?
Exactly.
They have not been able to do that. Somebody is giving it to you free of charge. And the law requires them to pay something.
Yes.
And the GRA lawfully is applying the law.
Exactly.
The people at KNUST, won't they be able to put up any sensible scientific argument to get the things?
The law is the law.
The law is the law, but you are taking the money. You are taking the money to buy the thing for me. You are not able to get the thing for me. Somebody is giving it for me, and you are taking the person who is gifting me tax. The person will take it away, and I will lose it. And you take your money from other sources, and you still can't get it for me. So can't we get them relief? Haven't we give relief to Anglo Gold?
For tax waivers, we always give.
Haven't we given it to Anglo Gold? And what is the benefit? But you see, everybody there is lazy.
Everybody where is lazy?
There are people who are supposed to put up the argument for KNUST.
No, but I mean, they are refusing to give it to you. What do you say?
Who is refusing to?
GRA is saying they will release it for you.
Yes, so put up a scientific, intelligent argument that we need this. Government can provide it. Give them tax relief, because people have been giving tax relief in this country so that they will gift the thing, because the people are not going to benefit. If I'm gifting you something, I'm not going to benefit. If you ask me to pay tax, I'll take it back to my country. You understand? And it's something that we did. I'm saying that our scientific community has been a big failure because the media has been over-concentrating on politicians and political activities.
Don't you think it is because politicians and political activities are gradually polarizing every sector of the country?
Because
you people are just entering everywhere.
No, we are. You see, when there's fire,
yes,
and there's no fuel, the fire at a point in time will get quenched.
It will die off. True.
So the polarization that you talk about, who fuels it? Is it not the media? Huh?
We only talk about what we see.
When Kennedy Japan went to got exploded, when it was exploding with the showdown tantrums in Cape Coast, had it not been the media, I would not have heard it.
Because that is our duty. We
are
doing our work.
Yes, you are doing your work, and I'm saying that all of you Ghanaian media, every morning, politics.
Because almost everything that is being run in this country right now
it
has
is
a
not
little
true.
bit of politics in
It is not true.
That's how you people make it look.
No, it is not true. I'm saying that it is you who are supposed to shape the mindset of our society, the media. So this morning, when I came and you're asking about science, I am telling you about the failure of our scientific community. If we keep discussing it, and the media across board is discussing the failure of our scientific community, they'll begin to do some basic things that will let the attention that is coming on them look positive.
But don't you think the scientific community has failed because a certain politician somewhere has also not fulfilled his responsibility?
What do I know?
Maybe there's somebody somewhere.
What do I know about crop production? I'm a politician. I don't know anything about it.
But
I don't know anything about it. I am worried as a politician that when there's a trouble in Niger and ECOWAS places a silly embargo on them, Ghana, we can't get onions. I'm worried about it.
We will even suffer to get beans.
I am worried about it. I am worried about the fact that tomatoes has to be brought from Burkina Faso. I am worried about the fact that we'd have to import sometimes palm oil into this country from other West African countries. I'm worried about it. But if I'm put into any responsible position of governance, my only responsibility is to act on what the scientific community has produced. And if it makes economic sense and it gives value, we'll work on it. But if I come into government and the scientific community has not prepared anything, and the people of Ghana need it, what it means is that I have to look elsewhere and get it. When I'm going to look elsewhere and bring it, it comes at a value cost.
By the time you used to look elsewhere, if you tax the scientific community, can they do for you? They need something, they don't have it. So you can tax them to do for you.
I don't have to tax them. They are first and foremost required to do it without anybody taxing them.
But I mean, they don't, you see, the point is that some of the times, I don't largely blame these scientists because of lack of raw materials.
Which raw material?
So there are people that can do a lot of things.
There are people that
so when you tax them,
people that come to tech don't pay fees.
Oh, they pay school fees.
They invest, don't they make money?
Oh, they invest in money.
When they want to ride VAs, are they not able to buy some for themselves?
Oh, I mean, some of them, they say they are donated.
Yes, so they know donated. The people, the notions that they have, can they use them to improve on seeds?
But if you need something as a politician and you want them to do for you, once you provide the raw materials, I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that can do for you.
You see that the problem I'm talking about is what you are really echoing. Don't emphasize the position of the politician too much when it has to do with science. Let the community do things. And let everybody see. The eyes are there, they see. And if the politician does not do anything to impact on it, provide the logistics that will let you expand so that it will impact on the economy. If the politicians will not do that, the Ghanaian people will take a decision on them.
But there are inventions already in
Which
the
one?
country.
Which one?
Kantanka. I mean, he produces vehicles.
Okay.
But we are still using Toyota Land Cruisers.
You see, I understand your problem.
What is my problem?
Okay. You see, with economics,
yes,
basics are important. Foundation. They are very, very, very important. So, with economics, if you don't build on the macro, you can on the micro. You can't have the macro.
You can't have a macro. Yes.
You understand? Okay. So the little things that is supposed to culminate in the bigger endeavor is what I'm talking about. Okay. As a country, how many people can afford a car? So those inventions are good, but this economy is agrarian based. So one, the major problem we have in this country is unemployment.
True. That's
the major problem. Okay, so I keep talking about comparative advantage. There's something we call in economics of skills. You see, when we identify our strength very well, and we are doing it here, we are doing that, it will come together, and then the cost of doing that will come down. You understand? Because once we do things in volumes, it means that we are getting raw materials in volumes. Once we are getting raw materials in volumes, anytime you buy in bulk, the price value will come down.
Yes, it goes down.
You understand? So all that I'm saying is that once we say we are an agrarian economy, which is a fact, unfortunately the service sector has been the one that is driving the economy in recent time, which is bad.
Okay.
Climate change, which the world has been talking about for about 10 years.
Yes.
Has a good value. And that good value has come to Africa. The negative impact is on industrialized economies. But the value that is coming to Africa, our scientific community is sleeping. So they are unable to even identify the value and let it impact on our well-being and our economic growth. So that when climate change peaks, and the rippling negative effect comes to Africa, we will be prepared for it. Unfortunately, it will come and it will take us by storm and it will destroy us because our scientific community is asleep. Previously, the weather cycle was such that the rains come in between March and April. By July, it is dying out. By mid-October, we are preparing to get into the dry season. But we are in mid-October, and we are having heavy volumes of rain. And according to weather forecasters, it's going to carry on into November. So what it means is that if our farming cycle was between April and July, climate change has extended it to November. It must impact on the level of production. The way to do it is to have a scientific approach. Modified seeds, improved planting methods, application of appropriate technology, scientific management of land resource. And this one, the discussion must begin from the scientific community, and then the politicians will pick it up and work on it.
To the CSIRs and all those agencies.
For me, they're sure
they're not seeing anything from them.
No, I'm saying that, look at the advantages that Russia, Ukraine gave to us. What have we done about it? even COVID. When COVID emerged, you're hearing all manner of concoctions that were on the media space indicating the ability to manage COVID. I heard about something in Boost. I heard about this one, the man that is from Cape Coast.
Which man?
The man that the FDA even banned his product for some time. Qua something.
Yes, KOA.
Qua something, Qua FS or something like that, and a lot of things. Okay, and all of them were helping us to manage COVID. And then our president went on a global tour and said that he was going to make sure that Ghana creates vaccines. What has happened to it? When a person says that the government, he wants Ghana to create vaccines, the president is not a scientist. You understand? So you, the scientific community, must take that challenge. But this time, we should be having one scientist being able to develop a vaccine, and then it will be there. And then the pressure will be on the president to look for resources to produce it in mass level.
But what if the materials to even produce a sample is very expensive?
Which sample?
I mean,
which material?
You want them to produce a
the
vaccine.
The ones who did it in India, they use any material.
Or maybe they are raw materials. You definitely they are raw chemicals you put together.
They have it here. They are there.
How sure are you that they have it here?
You see, they said you have to get the you call it enzymes, huh?
Yes, I've forgotten the scientific name for that.
Also, the science to come and help.
The virus.
Yes,
and you need to get a sample of the virus.
And I hear they speak this language, and you get the enzymes, and then you genetically have to work on the ones that you pick.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
To get it. And it's the same thing they did there.
But I mean, you see, the problem is that some of the times the young ones are eager to learn the science.
So how are they able to write theses and become doctors and professors in the various scientific program, chemistry, physics? How did they get their degrees?
Most of the times,
just on paper.
You do a little bit of the lab work.
So where did they get the raw material to do the lab work?
Oh, I mean, you can. You
have professors in chemistry here.
Yes, a lot of them.
You have professors who are biochemists here.
There are a lot of them. But you know,
you have
aside
professors,
when
you have professors in biology here.
You know, when
you have professors in pharmacology.
A lot of them. You know, when you
want
to,
are they able to put theses together to get those degrees?
You know, when you want to probably produce a vaccine like that, after you pick the virus, aside you working in the lab and trying to reverse engineer it.
So it means that because
there are some machines that probably it needs to pass through.
It means that the raw materials are not there, so our scientific community is not doing it.
Oh no, I mean, I am saying, what if that's the concern, that there are certain machines they need.
Which machines?
To probably pass certain things through to get it done. But they don't have it.
Then the country is dead.
But if they, I mean, because, so let me use myself as an example. I read science in senior high school.
Okay.
Even at that level, you would get to, I did the 4 years. Even at that level, you get to Form 3, heading into Form 4, before you get accustomed to the burette and the pipette and the setup. A normal chemistry setup, standard chemistry setup, going to fourth year. But when you go to outside the country, even those in junior high schools, they know it. So by the time they get to SS and you are now trying to identify a burette and a
approach of the scientific community towards this requirement. The noise that they make about book and research allowance. If they make the same noise about materials, wouldn't they get the effect they get when they make noise about book and research allowance?
I have a voice note here. Somebody just sent a voice note. I'm sure it's in relation to this particular conversation. Let us listen to it.
This is BY. In fact, these National Science and Maths quiz, these our young ones are performing creditably well. If you look at the way they answer questions, very simple. It tells you that they have something up their sleeves. But the way and manner we go about this science and technology, we shall never get to that scientific destination that some of these advanced countries have gotten to, because ours has always been reading and writing. That is all. We need to attach more practical aspect of science to the study of science in our various schools. Because what they are doing right now, I think, is about something that people have done and they are reading about them. For them to practically also make certain inventions and other things for others to also learn about them is where we are completely missing. So it is time that we have to put more practice into our scientific and technological, studies, so that with all this knowledge that we have and with all these, marvelous students who are there to answer some of these questions, can use their hands and the brain together to do a lot of things. But if it becomes only reading and writing and chewing and pouring, in fact, it will not help the system. So scientists today are, the backbone of most countries' economy. So if we want to also benefit, the best way to go is to do more practicals so that we can also have some inventions and manufacturings here and there. Thank you very much.
Very, very, very apt. Very apt. That is what I am saying. This is not the only year that we have done national maths.
Science and maths. We've been doing it for years.
It used to be brilliant maths and science quiz.
Yes.
And then when Unilever shifted their sponsorship from it.
And prime time.
Those days, it used to be brilliant soap.
Yes.
That was the major sponsor. So when Unilever took brilliant soap out of that contest, the name Brilliant National Science and Maths Quiz moved away, and then it's become National Science and Maths Quiz. So it has been there. How many times hasn't PESEC won it? How many times hasn't St. Peter's won it?
Prempeh College.
How many times hasn't Prempeh won it? How many times hasn't Opoko decided? So all those brilliant people who were winners in the previous Science and National maths quiz, what has happened to them? It is not today that we are seeing brilliant science students. They have been there every year. They come on screen, we see them. But they will learn it, they will chew, they will pour at quizzes, they will exhibit brilliance. A year after school, go and ask them, they will forget everything. Go and ask those, but you yourself, you're a science student. Let's ask you those questions. You get all of them wrong.
What questions?
The questions that they're asking them. You did science at secondary school.
Oh, yes, I did.
Let's ask you the same questions. You get all of them wrong.
Because I'm not prepared for your questions.
Because you have forgotten them.
If I get prepared, I'll answer all of them.
But I can imagine you getting good grades in chemistry, physics, and all those ones. Otherwise, you didn't have ended up at KNUST. You understand? You were as good as the period for examination. And that is what we do in Ghana.
Largely, I think you have a point there.
When we ask questions about things that we learn and we're giving answers, we are so intelligent. But when we have to practicalize it, we are so foolish. That is our problem. So showing intelligence, academic intelligence, by speaking, Jesus Christ, the whole of Africa will be number one.
We are very good.
Speaking quality English, putting them together to make it look like Charlie, Ghana for Pani, Nimiasa, they are being part. We are there, number one. But letting it impact on our quality of life, on our well-being, on our living, we are so foolish. Otherwise, how would we know that we are beginning to get volumes of water in our Kosombo Dam? And we will spill them and do it so stupidly like it has been done.
You just don't switch yet. Let me go for this commercial break. When I can, we'll go to Akosombo. We have plans of going there. So let me go this commercial. We'll go for this break. When I come back, we'll go to Akosombo.
Do you need a true friend? Then SIC Life is your choice for life. Enjoy 15% cashback payment on consistent premiums paid for the last 3 years without a claim, as well as a maximum cover of up to 50,000 Ghana cedis with the SIC Life Final Journey Plan Plus. The SIC Life Final Journey Plan Plus provides immediate cash out to meet the funeral expenses of beneficiaries and covers as many as 12 family members. You can now pay your premium for SIC Life Final Journey Plan Plus via mobile money. Just dial *170#, select 2, enter merchant number 307688 and follow the prompts. Call 0501-570-652 today to plan your future with SIC Life, your true friend for life. SIC Life, absolute peace of mind.
Washada pa eyachia diera wedding na fimuni nyina obi atwen yakobi na ukodru hɔ a emanko enson ene wo satare kro no a
Yes, Rugo, and Obia ne won say, and Nutina say a voice, data, and SMS in poor, MTN just for you. I am to say, everyone one casa brabo kama, press *141#, and now Shania will pay on my MTN app on so. Not do MTN just for you to say, everyone papa. I will Ghana Casifiba, Opeswa, Obia Antonio. MTN.
Amafwe! Yeah! Media sambisanda mo. Eti emratia no. Mumu hwan pa na tumi hwe na mo bodom pe mo man yakono.
Eye kwabna.
No mumu hwan so na tumi just mali me ma yɛ nyina de.
Eye kojo.
Enu kro. Kobre tumi hwe na bodom pe mo sense o yisu president eba. Aye den aban ne do braye. Po si echi na mo ban na sem ma na hoode ne. Sa! Ani na kudwo nso yisu president chako. Na eno ne de e ma wo se wo ye krejen fita. Na watimi asiri my mother feel you.
Hey, Kojo, sir.
Yeah. Pepsodent Eba and a Pepsodent Charcoal. I've had you're gonna natural.
FTIJ Trading Katuyatu.
You're still listening to Orange 107.9. This is the Orange Sunrise, and I'm having a conversation with King Zuba. This time around, King, let's go to Akosombo. A lot of things have happened from July that they knew that there's definitely going to be a spillage. We had to stay to spill it somewhere in September. Away from that particular science and engineering aspect, it's a little part of politics attached to it, where, I mean, a response from government to them, they claim hasn't been enough. Last of it all, topping it up, is a comment by the president, where he says that when he went there, and he said he's not even supposed to be there, because if we are to talk about votes, I mean, he's there because he wants to help them. That's why he's there, and he's not there to do politics. Left for politics alone, he wouldn't be there because they don't vote for him. And a lot of Ghanaians have taken his comment in a certain way.
Well, I've been looking for a picture of the president when he was making that statement. Maybe I've been busy, so I have not had time to see.
I mean,
did he have that white handkerchief on his hand?
I didn't pay attention, but I have the video. So when we finish, I'll show it to you.
Because whenever he has that white handkerchief on his hand, he says a lot of nonsense.
What do you mean? He says a lot of nonsense. But he has been on campaign platforms.
I'm saying that when he has the white handkerchief on his hand, he says things that does not make sense. Let me say it this way: when he says nonsense, Ghanaians will say you have insulted him.
Yes.
Yeah, because they don't understand English. Nonsense means it does not make sense. It's not an insult. So I want to find out if he had that thing on his hand. Then I appreciate where he was coming from. I don't know what is inside that thing, but whenever I see it on him and he speaks, it leaves much to be desired. So let me not concentrate on what they said and what they didn't say, because when there's disaster, there's no room for politics. You understand? The people are in misery as we speak.
Yes.
So what the president said and what he didn't say, for me,
he didn't have it. I just watched the video. He didn't have it.
Hey, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He normally does his things when he has that thing. So I'm wondering when he didn't have it and he was speaking like that. But I don't want to concentrate on what the president said or what he didn't say. Unfortunate as it may be, I would want to forgive him. Our people are in misery, they are Ghanaians. I think we have an emergency on our hand. The president should declare an emergency so that we can get into the emergency vote to get them the appropriate relief items that they need. It's important. And then corporate Ghana too should, as a matter of urgency, go to the aid of our brothers. And we are so much over concentrating on those in the Volta region. There are people in the eastern region and some parts of the northern and Brown-Afro regions who have been affected. If you go to
and even in the Greater Accra, the Shai Osudoku area.
If you go to the Pru area.
The Pru area.
Yes. They've been devastated.
Yes.
So we should not
over-concentrate. Some 4 regions or 5?
We should not over-concentrate on the Volta region, even though that is the epicenter of the disaster.
Yes.
And we must give them a lot of emphasis. But then other regions has also been affected. It is when we declare an emergency that we can get into an emergency vote and then get them. Because as we speak, it looks like NADMO has been cut part down. They don't have anything. They can provide the relief items that they need to get to them. People have been cramped in schools. They can't get places of convenience. I mean, health care issues are coming to the fore. Doctors are raising concerns about sanitary conditions that the people who have been cramped in schools are in, and it gives cause for worry that in this age and time we treat our own citizens like this. It's unfortunate. Again, over here too, I blame the scientific community.
Why do you blame them here too? Explain yourself and let's go.
Our weather forecasters.
Yeah, but I mean, GMA said they didn't foresee this extension in the rainy season.
Which one? Ghana Medical Association?
The Ghana Meteorological Agency.
They didn't foresee this.
Yes, they did. That's what VRA said. VRA said when they consulted GMA couldn't give them exactly
that's a big failure.
The extension.
Go to Morocco. Don't take it to America. They'll be able to tell you the volume of rain that they're expecting up to next year.
But this is a change from the normal. So I mean, when you predict, you can fail.
It is not a change from the normal. I'm saying that climate change is here. Climate change is with us. So it is not a change from the normal. Climate change has been with us for the past 10 years. So the effect of it, if the scientific community is alive to its responsibility, must be known.
Okay.
You see, in Philippines, are you telling that Philippines is much more developed than Ghana? Philippines.
What happens there?
When they are about to experience a storm, they are able to predict the speed at which the storm is traveling and a time when it will hit a particular community, vicinity, or province.
But if they can do that and we can't, then they are more developed than we are.
No, because...
But they can do it and we can't.
They are not developed than us. The only thing is that their scientific community is alive to its responsibility.
Our own is not dead.
Ours is dead. Because if the meteorological agency is telling you that they have been caught unaware by a behavior of weather, and their responsibility is to predict that which will happen before...
An unusual behavior.
I don't accept that.
Unusual behavior.
How many conferences haven't they attended in relation to climate change?
Yeah, but this is something that is away from the usual. It's an unusual behavior.
Climate change is an unusual behavior. It is changing weather patterns. It is changing weather conditions. That is why in France, they will tell you that the heat levels that they've experienced this year has not been happening is the worst that they have had in the last 40 years. Do you think if it's been regular, they will tell you that this is the worst that they have had in the last 40 years? That is why they will tell you that in California, the fires that they experienced this year is the worst that they have had. That is why they will be able to tell you that the fire that they have experienced in Spain is the worst that they have had in over 50 years. It is as a result of climate change. There are fires that emerged in Canada and nobody lighted it. It was as a result of excessive heat.
Okay. I have a voice note here. Let's listen to it. Then I'll take your last words before we go.
Good morning. This is Benjamin from Buong. I just want to share a little bit about say a little bit about the National Science and Maths quiz lesson. The problem here in Ghana is that every aspect of education is just about knowledge base, like only learning from books and all that. But I think when you go to school and you get to a certain point, like when you are going up from SHS going, I think the practical should come, like it should start from there more than the theory aspect, because when you go to these advanced countries, like the universities and those levels of education, like, they don't do much more of theory.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming to with that voice note. King, your last words. We have some 2 minutes, so your last words.
So my challenge is that, please, our brothers and sisters in the media, reduce your concentration on politicians and political activities. Let us help ourselves by giving from now on into the future much more attention to our scientific community. Please, if our scientific community goes to sleep, this country and its economy is dead. And for them to be brought on their toes, it would require concerted effort by the totality of the Ghanaian society to let them know that we are looking up to them, we are expecting them to deliver us some things. And the only way to get at that is for the media to also be alive and responsive to your responsibilities.
So your last words went to the media
and the scientific community.
The scientific community.
Yeah.
We would have to make time to continue this conversation again with you some other time.
You see, there's too much concentration on politics.
That's why today we've stayed away from politics.
Yes.
We've had a conversation devoid of politics.
But you see, it must not be a one-off thing.
It should happen more often.
Because I'm saying that climate change is here. It is with us. At the onset, it portends an advantage for African economies. We can only tap into it when our scientific community is alive and aware of the advantages and are responsive to it. Ultimately, climate change will peak. The end result for Africa will be catastrophic. Let us get the benefit within climate change at this particular time before it peaks and begins to impact on us negatively. We have to prepare for that time, and the time to do that is now.
Okay. Thank you very much for passing through. That was King Zuba, my guest for today. This is where I'll draw the curtain for today's edition of the Orange Sunrise. Show was produced by David Boche FIFA with support from Alpha Ali and Abna Echan. My name is Rahim Awafo. I'm being threatened by my DJ. His name is DJ Lexus, and he's the person who played all the good music for you. I almost forgot him. My name is Rahim Awafo. The Orange Urban Mix comes up next. Do stay tuned and enjoy the